Checks mic. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Look, I hit the button. We are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the morning show here on Stock Market TV. You got me, you got Steve, you got JC, and you got Alfonso on the P's and Q's on the charts doing what he does. Busy show today. A lot to discuss. I'm not going to ramble for much longer. We got Kenny Glick. We got a new guest on the show. Get your bingo cards out. It's been a few weeks. New guest. We got a guy you might know if you've seen some other podcasts in our space. Matt Cerminaro, a.k.a. Chartkid Matt, a.k.a. co-founder of Exhibit A. We'll talk to Matt at about 9 o'clock. He brought charts. So Matt works at Ritholtz, and he is the man, and we're excited to have him. So we got Matt on at 9. We got Kenny Glick on right before that. And then right after Matt, I was told last night that JC had to talk to Stephen Weitzel about the Masters. So we got Weitzel coming on at like 9:20 just to talk golf for a few minutes. And that's what we'll do. And then as a reminder, we got such great feedback last week that we're doing it again. So what am I talking about? We're going to end the show at 9:30, and Strazza is going live at 9:45 after the open, just to kind of talk through some trades, what he's doing, what he's buying, what he's selling. And, you know, it's just a little bit different when the market is open, right? And things are actually moving up and down. And so Steve's going to do that. So that's the plan for the day. A lot to get to. Drop me a like if you'd be so kind. Let's bring everyone on. And let's go. Where's my intro? Oh, new intro alert. Let's go.
Oh, look at that new intro.
Can you play it again? I don't know what I think. What do you think, chat?
What do you think, chat? Can we play it again? You don't think that's too obnoxious?
Play it again.
Play it again. One more time.
Run it back.
Give it to him again. I like it. I'm into it.
I feel like Christos. It's going to grow on me. I know I'm going to end up loving it. But for now, I'm like, where's my normal intro?
No, I'm into it. You know,
nice
is
job,
this the
Jack.
first time that you see that?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw it.
I forgot that it was in there until just now.
No, I love the fact that we did. I'm into it. I'm not going to lie. And you know what else I like about it? I like that there's a shot of you and me doing that podcast together with JB and Batnick.
Yeah,
we haven't done a lot of podcasts together like that.
No, we've been on stage together a handful of times, done a few podcasts. Yeah.
There's no footage of us on stage together in San Diego. We got to get some.
I told Izzy to look maybe through like the money show stuff over the years. There's got to be something.
Dude, you and me were on stage together in January. Remember when Lindsay pulled me off because we didn't shut up?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? That was good.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
All right, guys, before we get into the market, I would be remiss if we didn't start out today's show giving Steve Strazza his flowers. Big props, big ups to Steve Strazza. We just announced, happened a couple of months ago, but we just announced that Steve has been named Chief Market Strategist of All Star Charts. Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Steve?
Oh, the wrong button.
Was that the Friends?
No, thank you guys. I'm very excited. You know, I'm so proud of the things that we've done together at All Star Charts over the years. I love this. I love this company. I love the analyst team, and I'm super excited for the future. So, thank you,
Steve. We're all super proud of you, but I mean, come on, let's be serious. Can we just tell the folks that Steve Strazza used to be a client of All Star Charts? Steve Strazza was a subscriber and an avid reader of All Star Charts.
That's right.
And then how'd the story go? So you emailed me and you're like, JC, you know, how do I get more involved? Something like that. And I was like, meet me at the CMT Association symposium. Is that, what year was that?
We 16 or 17.
Was
We
it
started
that long
exchanging.
ago?
Really?
Yeah, you were nice and answered my emails because I was from Fairfield U. So we started exchanging emails because of our little link at Fairfield
That's
University.
really how you got me, because you were like, "Oh, I went to Fairfield."
Yeah.
And you knew, and I do email people back that I went to school with me. So that's
Yeah,
a
we just started
nice
chatting.
job there, Strazza.
So almost 10 years now. We're going on 10 years. We're getting close to 10.
Kids, are you paying attention? That's how it's done. Do a little homework on the person you're trying to reach, just a little bit, and it goes a long way. Well done, sir. Well done.
So exciting stuff. But business as usual here.
No, but yeah, of course, I'm still chairman. I still pay the bills around here, right? We make it rain around here.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Not so fast.
Listen, if anybody thinks that me and Strazza aren't going to yell at each other all the time, you got something coming. We can't help ourselves.
That won't change. Yeah, that's never going to change.
Listen, the people like it when we disagree. When you and me agree too much, and we agree on like 99% of things, but when we disagree, the amount of emails and feedback we get, people love it. They love it. Yeah. All right. Okay. We love you, Steve. Let's move on. Can we get to the market? Come on. Let's go.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes into the show already. Sheesh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Monday here, and we've got the Dow futures up 460 points. That's 1.1% to the upside, pushing 41,000, S&P's up 1.6%, just under 5,500. Woo! I mean, they got work to do, but they're inching higher. 42,000 is the big level on the Dow, 5,600, big level on the S&P. Eyes there. NASDAQ up 2%, leading the way this morning, 370 points to the upside, 19,200 almost, with bonds up, all right? So bonds are up after getting slammed. Bonds up 0.2%, pushing 114 on the 30-year. You got crude oil futures up 1.3% at 62. You got copper up 1.2%, pushing 460. Gold down 0.75%, 32.20. Silver up 0.2%, 32 and change, with the VIX getting slammed down to 32.5, which is hilarious to say, but that's just what it is. Over in funny money land, of course, we got Bitcoin up 1.6% this morning. That puts it at just above 85,000. ETH up 4.7%, 1670. And then you got the Solana 133 up 4% on the day. Total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 2.66 trillion. What stands out from this morning's futures?
The cryptos. The cryptos had a great Saturday, right? They just kept going, following what was a wild session last week, but it ended good for risk assets. The cryptos kept going. They followed through this weekend. Now the futures are kicking it off with a gap up Monday. Gotta love it. Rally mode.
You know, what's funny is, so I was at the Masters on Saturday, and
you were.
Which was incredible. We'll talk about it later. I don't want to, we'll get into that later. I was
Hold
like, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know you went to the Masters.
I'm ready.
So we'll talk about it later. So anyway, they don't let you take your phone in. So we all left you could check it in like an idiot, or you could just leave it in the car like a normal person. So we left it in the car. So I had no idea what was going on in the market the entire time I was in the Masters, which was lovely, by the way. But on another note, as soon as I get back in the market, I turn my phone on and, of course, check crypto. See what I was gone all day, right? Rarely does that happen ever. May have never happened in the history of crypto, that I just disappear like that. And then I turn on. I'm in the. I'm with no coiners. I'm in a car full of no coiners, right? So they think I'm crazy because I pick up my phone. I'm texting you immediately, obviously, because you're the only one that gives a shit. And I'm like, what the hell happened in crypto? Like, you got like Harry Potter's up like 25%. And, you got Dog with Hat ripping, Pepe ripping. And like, I'm just like rattling off these names. And there's like a doctor behind me, a couple of financial advisors, no coiners everywhere. They think I'm nuts. And I'm just like, whoa, what happened?
No coiners. Yeah. Look, it's encouraging. It's healthy action. It speaks to a degree of risk appetite re-entering the market, which is important. All right. You got some good news here on the tariff front today. I expect that to keep happening.
What was the news?
They're taking it easy on certain tech products, iPhones, some certain chips.
Did that happen? Didn't that happen Friday night?
They're giving them, yeah, they're giving, what are they calling it? Tariff exemptions.
I don't know about all that, but when it comes to crypto, this is the one that stands out the most to me. Solana just closed yesterday, new all-time highs relative to ETH. So here's my question. Should we be impressed with Solana, or is it really just that Ethereum sucks?
No, Solana is impressive on its own. You know, look, 120 was the level. I was thinking we'd get a big breakdown, a leg lower, right? That would have been a terrible short. So the fact that it couldn't break down, the bears got no follow through on this top that looked like it was a completed top. Now you got a bullish momentum divergence in place, and we're launching scooping higher back above that.
You were texting me last week. You were texting me about a scoop and score in Solana. Like last week, you're all over that.
We talked about on the live stream. This is one of those groups of relative strength. You know, I think of charts like Solana, MicroStrategy, Ripple as places you can go right now in this market to play this rebound rally. So I'm in. I'm in on the Solana and the Ripple. The Ripple has a shorter term top.
That Ripple, I mean, when you zoom out on that Ripple, like that's very, very impressive.
Ripple rallied about 600% during the election last winter. Okay. And then just tight consolidation in a textbook looking head and shoulders formation, never once getting oversold through it. That's the biggest thing, JC, that I look for. We run back these failed top patterns, and you know, we trade these patterns all the time,
especially during bull markets, right?
In this bull market, I've traded these failed tops more than anything. Okay. And the number one thing that I look for is not getting oversold. The best failed tops don't get oversold. Not at all. They look a lot like Ripple. So that's an exciting
and some failed tops like put in a bullish divergence on the second low.
Fine. That's fine. But I like one that doesn't ever get oversold and still has a bullish divergence, you know?
Can we, speaking of the old tariffs, can we get back to the rumor mill? And I was gone last week, not that I'm watching basic cable television anyway, but let's say hypothetically I was paying more attention. Maybe I would have seen it. So they're telling the audience that they're delisting. Put it on the new slide too. Throw up the China chart, please. Oh, sorry, that's slide 3. That's my bad, Spencer. There you go. They're saying that they're delisting Chinese equities. Was that the fake news?
Yeah, they're not delisting Chinese equities. There's no chop.
Can you check us here, please?
No, it's like so there's like different degrees of like there's a bajillion headlines, right? Going off, flying every which way all the time. And there's like one real headline, and then that will spawn like 50 offshoots of other things that are like not really happening, but they're like kind of plausible. So yeah, let's just flood the zone with headlines, right? So that's why you got the thing about like insider trading last week, and now you're getting the thing about the delisting, which like it's plausible, it could happen. Is it gonna happen? No, no, right? Like probably not. But like it's in the realm of possibilities. So why not talk about it, right?
Spencer, did you watch the interview on Fox Business from last Thursday?
No. But I know what you're referring to.
The reporting around this on Fox Business it's one of the dirtiest things I've seen in a real long time. If you just go watch it, it's very clear. It's overwhelmingly clear that they're just trying to move the market for Chinese equities. They're trying to help Trump gain leverage on China. It's nothing more than that. And no one takes it seriously because as they put out these reports, the market, Chinese stocks don't budge.
You nailed it, Strazza. Say more, because you were right on top of it. You're like, they're talking about delisting. They're going up on this news. Can you talk about that?
They were ramping them during the interview, and they did it on the last 5 minutes of the session, which is just it's classic. Okay, and
what day was this?
Thursday afternoon, 3:55. And if the market thought there was even a far out chance of this happening, you're seeing stocks like Baba and JD and Baidu get absolutely rocked. 5, 10, 15%, right? So the market not doing that tells you that it doesn't believe it at all, I think. China looks great.
What's the best way to do this?
China looks fantastic out here, right, is the bottom line. China's been as resilient as anything. And you know what else? Shout out Europe. Europe, right back on trend. Some high and tight flags on a relative basis. I think this thing is real. I think this ex-US leadership situation, it's underway. Through the volatility, those relative trends have held up. We're still looking at more outperformance in the future from non-US stocks. That's what the charts continue to tell us, even through all the selling of the past few weeks. You agree?
What's the trade on the Chinese equities that have options, right? Because there's a bunch of trades on like ADRs that don't trade options, but in terms of the options market and the liquidity in the derivatives, what's the best one?
I think you go Baidu, far out, Baidu leaps, or something like BABA shorter term. BABA's down 40% from its highs.
I mean, BABA's probably the best pure play. Would you agree with that?
Yes. BABA's the Apple. BABA's like the first position you should buy.
Is
when
it
you're
BABA
building
the
it.
Amazon?
Sure, fine. But I'm saying Apple. Yeah, it's the big one. It's the most liquid.
But in terms of like a pure play China, one stock, you get one stock to it that you think that you look at as the benchmark, the bellwether for China. It's BABA, right?
I would do BABA. I think you can make an argument for Tencent too, but BABA. Yeah, BABA is the Amazon of China.
Yeah, if Tencent wasn't a penny stock, not a penny stock, a pink sheet, you know?
I know. Stinks.
You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't pink sheets, I would say that is the bellwether. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but we agree that we give it to BABA because it's not on the pink sheets.
Yeah, and BABA's traded like on the New York Stock Exchange. It's the most liquid, highest market cap.
Yeah. All right. We're agreeing way too much this morning. I don't like it. The audience definitely doesn't like it, Strazza. We got to give the people what they want. What do we disagree on here?
I'm full bull right now. So I came over to your side.
Where's your bull market shirt?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
No.
Got it. So Q's above 500, the bull market shirt comes out.
500? I don't think I need that much. But the bounce is underway. I'll wear it tomorrow. All
right. You got the people like it. You know, when you dress like the Schaffer family, the people are into it.
Oh, the best outfits, man.
You know what I'm saying? The best outfits. Shout out to the Schaffers. Love you guys.
Yeah, really?
That's right.
They were just in the Florida Keys.
They live some life, those people. All right, listen, we got some good guests today. Are you going to stick with us for the Stephen Weitzel session, or are you going to bounce out because you don't want to hear it?
One of the things I would like to do as the new chief strategist of All Star Charts is more sports, just more sports. So I think we should do more of this, special sports segment on the morning show. I'm all for it,
Well, it's a beautiful segue. We have one Kenny Glick in the house. Speaking of sports, come on down.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
All right, I got a request that we don't change Kenny's intro. It's too good. We gotta keep it, right? We gotta keep it.
Why would you change it?
Because we just changed the intro to the show, apparently. We changed it this morning. I didn't even know. But I don't want to change Kenny's. Anybody out there in intro editing land, please leave Kenny's alone. It is perfect the way it is. Would you not agree?
Yeah, and we got some lyrics from AI. I got a Russian rap lyric done. We have the greatest lyrics now. VWAP lyrics, gangster rap lyrics. I didn't go down the AI rabbit hole still yet. I haven't used ChatGPT, not even once. But members of the room have been putting up lyrics to do some new raps because they saw my skills last time. I'm still stuck in the 80s. Got that classic Kumo D thing going, but I need to step my game up.
It's funny that you said that because when I first started using ChatGPT, when it first came out, that's all I used it for was for rap lyrics. It was like I would say things like, give me a rap song if the Big Lebowski, or like, you know what I'm saying? If like the Big Lebowski was from Brooklyn, growing up in Bed-Stuy, right? Like what would a rap look like about the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but like in the voice of the Big Lebowski. Like I would do like crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
And they were hilarious. I was tweeting it out at the time.
It's amazing.
I was just cracking myself up.
It is pretty amazing. We did like 2 gangster rappers from Brighton Beach who want to learn, who know about trading and love Kenny Glick.
Oh,
And
it's so good.
It was awesome with the broken English right there for you. It was great. Yeah, you know, I traded mad straight up, crazy bull market. It's so we're gonna eventually do this. It's gonna happen.
Too good. Mr. Kenny Glick, everything's flying this morning. Are you fading? Because the way I learned it, if you ain't fading, you ain't trading.
I might be napping because I think this is going to be one of those typical bull market Mondays where we just are up and stay up. I don't want to get crazy bullish, but UVXY's crashed. It was up 57.50. You guys know, I don't know if you've been reading my text or getting my emails or the videos. My plan was just to destroy this UVXY product because this is what it does. It goes up in the height of fear and then inevitably it always crashes. It is the only guarantee in town. It is built to go down. So once the amazing fear and the capitulation happens, it's also a good sign that the worst might be over. And Friday was a huge day. Friday was so good because the banks gapped up, you got the fade, but then they reversed again, showing you that the worst, and again, I don't know if the worst is over, we're a tweet away from something else happening, but the action on Friday, which went from sloppy to extremely bullish, and here's the carryover. So I think we would have gapped up on Monday. I would think we would have gapped up today anyway. Morgan Stanley, obviously JP Morgan and Bank of America all fought back really, really nicely. And the market stayed bullish. You know, once we had the little faux show bro one more time at around 11:30 in the morning, that was it. And then the buy program kicked in and we just grinded higher like a typical bull market. So I heard we were in a bear market. So I'm curious. So if we crash 20%, we're in a bull market. But if we rally 12% 2 days later, are we out of the bear market or back in a bull market? What's the statistically, what are we in right now? I don't know. Does it matter?
I can't speak for other people, but for me, if we're above the prior cycle highs, like
Right.
in the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, like this is still a bull market. Like, you know, we're above the prior cycle highs. We're making all-time highs. Like, it's still bull market. You have corrections in bull markets. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why people are saying it's not. You know,
I know. I was hoping for one more day of full-blown chaos.
So were all those people buying puts, actually.
Yeah. But once UVXY never broke the overnight highs, that was their moment where I'm like, okay, maybe it's already over. So, and again, it was over. Is it over with the volatility over? I hope not. I hope we see, 5 or 6 more days like we saw on Wednesday or whatever.
Kenny, was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Germans?
Hell no.
Forget it. He's rolling.
And it ain't over now. Who's with me?
Don't get me started with a good time. What's up? Oh, man. Yeah. Speaking of that, I don't know. I just made me think of Godfather. If you guys haven't seen The Offer, go watch The Offer. This is the greatest television show ever made. It's a story. It's a show about the making of The Godfather. It's a 6-part series, and it is awesome. It is really awesome. You got every actor you want it to be in it. You got, Sinatra's being played, Mario Puzo. I mean, it is really amazing. And really, if you haven't seen 6-part series, The Offer, go get it right now. Much better than whatever that show everyone's telling me to watch, Severance. Awful. Severance. Can't get through it.
Yeah, I saw like half the first episode. I got bored. Give me one more name, Kenny. What's on the move?
I got to watch Goldman Sachs because, if we're, notoriously the stock tends to fade anyway. You had a fade this morning and it just turned into a buying opportunity, just like the banks on Friday. So I will be looking at Goldman Sachs. If bull is back, then this is not to fade. If fade, then bear market, big bang, crush your mother, and we're going to see what happens next. All right, so Goldman Sachs, that's it. And I'm going to watch the UVXY and the Qs because if the bull is back, then UVXY will stay red today. If UVXY is anywhere near green, then volatility is here to stay.
All right, rock and roll.
Kenny, before you leave us, can you do your John Malkovich from Rounders impression? I'm sure you have a good one.
Your fate sits by your side. Someone owes you money, Grandma. From the last time I stick it in you.
That's right. It's very good.
Farewell.
So good. So good. Well done, Kenny. Well done, sir.
All right. Hitthebid.com, guys. Kenny's room. He's there now. He's there every day.
Check. Check.
That's right. That's right. If you don't have my money, I don't know. That's the best I got. Okay. Who do we got now? We got Chartkid Matt in the house, JC. That's exciting. New guest.
Tell the folks where they can get the slides from the show. I feel like there's people out there, Spencer, who don't know that every day they should be receiving the slides from the show. I feel like that's a thing.
I need to do a better job of getting the email out earlier. But that being said, there is actually a link. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the description, it says free research, and then it says Stock Market TV Daily Rundown. If you click on that link, that'll get you to the sign up page. And I promise I will get the email out today before 11 o'clock. You have my word. Okay, that being said, speaking of charts, you know whose charts are going to be in that email is our next guest, Matt Cerminaro, Ritholtz, Exhibit A. He's their chart kid, and he's here with us now. So
bring him out. Bring him out.
Bring him out.
Yo, Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
What's up, Matt? How are you, my man?
What's up? How you doing? Good to see you guys.
Doing great. Doing great. Steve Strazza, big fan of yours. Big fan.
I'm a big fan of Steve Strazza. Congrats, Steve.
Do you think I'm your biggest fan, Matt?
You
have a lot.
I think you might be up there. You know, I don't know many other fans, so we'll see.
Hold on. I gotta tell the folks. So like Steve Strazza's out here offering Matt Chartkid a job and shit like that, and then I run into it and I'm like,
I didn't offer him a job.
I was like, you know that like
our friends. I didn't know
that his
bosses
bosses are like our best friends. Like, you know, we don't you know, like, we can't just take
No.
Batnick and Ritholtz' guy and bring, like, we don't do that around here, right? Like, we can't do that.
I said I would love to offer Matt a job. Right, Matt?
You did say that, yeah. This is true.
You're a wanted man, and that's a good thing.
Don't poach around here. They come to us, I swear.
It's a crazy thing. What's going on is nuts. But I'm with really great people at Ritholtz, and obviously Exhibit A, so I'm happy.
Yeah, they're all right.
What's your day-to-day like, Matt? You're just digging through charts all day? Are you like working with Michael?
Arguing with Barry Ritholtz all the time. He just likes to argue.
What are you doing?
He just wastes everybody's time just arguing.
So I mean, for the past year, we were building Exhibit A, which is I'm the chief product officer there, so I oversee that whole project. So I go back and forth with the developer, our CTO Eric Davini. We have to build that, so there's a lot of design work there.
Can you talk about what that is exactly?
Absolutely, yeah. So Exhibit A is a custom branded charting platform for financial advisors to pull the charts that they would otherwise steal from like a JP Morgan guide to the markets. They can get on Exhibit A in their brand. They can create decks. So it's a really cool tool. All the charts update daily. So I'm doing that. And then also I'm Chartkid Matt for the podcast. So I'm just spinning up all the charts for Michael, Josh, if they need anything. I do it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So at what age are you no longer the chart kid and more of like a chart young adult? Like, where's that line?
You know, well, truthfully, it's probably whenever Michael decides it is, and Josh. But I'll run with Chartkid.
What if they just like forget? Because like they have nothing going on. So I'm sure they're very concerned with at what age Chartkid Matt turns into a chart young adult.
It's above my pay grade, but yeah, I'll let them decide.
All right, I'm gonna have to have a little sit down with them. I got your back. I got you,
Matt. Yeah, it's a great name, and buddy, it's always a good thing when they're talking about you. Trust me, I know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, all these Chartkid Matt name shout outs means you're doing something right.
Not yeah.
So Exhibit A is basically a dictatorship with Matt and the Ritholtz guys. They pick the best charts, they package them up, they'll throw your logo on them and shoot them to clients. How are you picking the charts?
Exactly. Yeah, well, so we aggregated like 120 charts on the platform on launch. And these are like the charts that Ritholtz like uses for their client stuff. So Michael, Josh, they know the charts that we need to have on there for like advisors to communicate with their clients. So off the rip, we have those, right? The annual returns with the intra-year drawdowns, growth of $1 over the long term, inflation kills your purchasing power, all of the, you know, classic charts advisors use. And then we're going to launch a chart of the week initiative within the next few weeks where we have like a highly topical chart every week. And that you might see that on TCAF. It's kind of,
because your charts, it might be one chart, but they all tell a big story, right? Every chart is like a major talking point or a lesson or a teaching.
Exactly right. They're not just like, like a line chart of the S&P over the past like year. It's every single chart is like an idea. It can be an idea for a blog post. It can be an idea for a client letter. It could be materials that go into your quarterly report.
Right.
So every single chart is like, we do some analyst work on our end. It's almost like analyst as a service. I think Spencer, you actually coined that. We were at the Portfolio Accelerator. You said it's kind of like analyst as a service because we get the raw data, but then we do the turn into like what you would have to kind of pay an analyst to do. We do for you. And then charts just update every day through our technology.
Let's look at some. What do you say? What do you say we look at some?
Oh, sure. Ooh. Yeah. Well, some of these are just things I was doing over the weekend. They're not on Exhibit A yet, but there is one in here that I have All-Star Charts branded that is from Exhibit A.
Okay.
And we will get to that. But this.
All right, let's walk through.
Yeah. So this one right here, we're looking at so on Wednesday last week, the massive up day, right? Trump tariff pause day, we'll call it. We had 98.2% of S&P 500 stocks advance, which is very rare. So I looked back since 1990. It's happened 15 other times. And if you look at I put them as dots on this S&P chart.
Yeah.
If you kind of look at them, right, like this doesn't really happen in like a bear market rally, right? I mean, they're pretty good times to buy.
It didn't happen in 20 years from 90 to 2009.
Yeah. I mean, data comes from Bloomberg. Yeah, it's very rare. And so the next slide, Spencer, if you want to.
Some would call that a breath thrust.
Exactly. Even. I think we got a breath thrust. So I put kind of the summary stats here for the forward returns. And the 6-month forward really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
On average, 6 months forward, 13.3%. That's great. Median, 12.6%. That's great. There's some overlapping instances here, but generally it's good. And the win ratio, 100%. That really stuck out to me. That's great.
The only instance that really wasn't so good was just during the last cycle. It was the first fail off the bear lows, the first shot. So that reading came in July 2022, and you didn't get much off that one. You got another one. That's something to pay attention to with these bottom signaling indicators, right? We use the percentage of stocks above the 200-day. We looked for it to drop below 15 and then recapture it. However, what can happen is you get double dips sometimes, right? You'll get like a double reading.
Right.
It's not the first one was wrong. It just was early kind of thing.
Well, look, if you see the column all the way to the right, it's the max drawdown from the instance. So it looks like July 19th, the signal you're talking about in 2022. We had almost a 10% drawdown from that to the low, which was October 12th, of course.
Yeah, the worst drawdown in this data set. It's interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something that I sent actually. So for example, right, I sent this to Michael. We're going to use this on one of the podcasts this week, formatted for the compound. It stuck out to him too. It's interesting.
Yeah. No, Mike loves a good chart. He does.
He does. I mean, he's the OG chart goat. I look back at his blogs, and he's got all of this stuff there. So
we were talking about, JC, we were just talking this morning about the first CMT symposium that I went to because you told me Michael spoke at that. I don't know if he was the keynote or what it was. Remember that back in 2017?
No, I think they did like a panel, like a one-on-one. I was supposed to moderate it, and I had to leave because it started too late. I had to come. I was still living in California.
He had just written his book. He was talking about that. Anyway, so does this mean go out and buy everything, Matt?
I don't know. I mean, I think if you look at the average drawdown is 4%. So is there a shot that we get some more weakness from here? Yes. But do I think that you should be shorting this? Absolutely not. I think overall it's a bullish data point. And obviously we're looking at this through like a technical lens. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and you could have opinions about whether they're good or bad. But I think objectively looking at this, it's positive. And if you have a long time horizon, this is something that you want to buy.
Yeah. They're telling me that the bounce is technical too. The bounce, it's a technical bounce.
That sounds
opposed to what?
It's a technical bounce. They're saying it on the news. It must be true.
Isn't every move technical based on supply and demand?
I don't get it. Yeah, I think technicals lead fundamentals. I'm a big guy on technicals, so
I think
Yeah.
fundamentals are just a distraction.
Well, markets
Stop
move.
it.
Forget who said it, but like markets move first, reasons follow later. That's not my quote, but I read that and was like, wow, because I joined the industry in July 2022, so all I heard was stocks need to go down, need to go down, need to go down, and stocks have just kind of gone up since. So maybe it's just timing, but sorry, Spencer, we can jump back to that chart. Cool. All right, this one comes from Exhibit A. So what we're showing here are buckets of the VIX on the x-axis, and then forward S&P returns on the y. And so the idea here is like when you get into these extreme VIX readings, just generally forward returns on average are strong. We're looking at 6 months here. So 12.7% on average when you get a VIX above 33.5. Again, if you're an advisor talking to clients, it's something that maybe you want to show them this if they're kind of anxious right now,
And it would be really high win rates on these as well.
It would,
Just like
yeah.
the last study.
Got it.
This is great.
And of course, all-star charts branded. I don't want to do all of them like that, but just, throw in here.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, and so you can match the color schemes too? Like, did you do the red and the blue for us? So
yeah,
like
it's like super simple. There's like a brand settings and you just hit brand settings and there's like an eyedropper where you could like click it and then from your logo, just like select the color. So I selected as like, there's 3 colors you can up to 3 colors you can select. I set the primary one, obviously to that blue. And I think the tertiary, the third one to the kind of red here. So
what we're discussing is what I like to call chart aesthetics. Okay. This is something I bang into the heads of all of our analyst team members whenever they start. The charts have to look pretty.
Yeah.
Or nobody wants to look at your shit. Nobody wants to look at your shit already. That's the baseline thing that you should assume.
Yes.
If your charts are ugly, you have no shot. No shot. So many people in this business, they come in, they make an ugly chart, and then they wonder why doesn't it gain traction. These are absolutely beautiful, Matt. Kudos to you.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Yeah. I think honestly, like Tom Lee at Fundstrat, where I worked previously, he really taught me a lot of this. And so like really like a big shout out to him because he's all about the aesthetics of the chart. And like
how long did you work for Tom?
Of course he is.
I worked for him for a year and 8 months.
I met you when you were still working with him, right?
You did, yeah. I met you. We were downtown. I think.
Yeah, we were at that shitty bar on Stone Street that they're always hosting parties at. Man, they couldn't pick a worse spot. I hate that place.
Yeah,
we had a good time. It was fun. But that's
a terrible bar that is.
I met you.
It's like they call themselves like a Cuban restaurant. It's like Havana something. Everything's Mexican. It's like really weird.
Why are so many events there?
And it used to be that used to be the Dubliner. It actually used to be a good bar. They totally screwed it up.
These Cubans.
There's not even Cuban. There's not a Cuban in sight. Jesus.
Next chart. This is
Next
great.
chart.
Next chart.
I think this is
Chart on.
Last one. All right.
Okay.
All right. So.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah, this one took a good amount of work. So pretty much what we're looking at here is the S&P. The top and bottom panes are composites, so like averages of the S&P 500 price in bear markets on the top, and then earnings in the bottom. So what we're doing is we're like rebasing the price to 100 on the top, and then the earnings to 100 on the bottom, and we're seeing where like the lows match up relative to one another. So the idea here is that price bottoms 9 months before earnings on average.
Wow.
So again, like this is a positive for technicals, right? Because if you're waiting for the inflection of earnings higher to buy stocks in a bear market or a significant drawdown, you're going to miss it, right? Yeah.
I love this chart. This is so important. People don't think about these things enough. The market is so smart, right? We're lucky to have it. We call it one of the greatest discounting mechanisms known to man. It recognizes all of these things early. But holy cow, 9 months? I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have guessed 6 if you asked me.
Yeah, I think the COVID cycle was like 13 months.
Wow. Yeah.
GDP, it's not shown here, but GDP on average bottoms 5 months after the stock market bottoms.
Right.
So like, I think like if people want to assess how the tariff situation is going to go, probably like looking at the stock market is not a terrible indicator for how things are actually going to shake out. I really think markets lead a lot of the actual fundamental news that comes out. It's just something that, I think has been taught to me from some people and I've observed.
Every morning, Matt, we come in here and we take a tariff headline. And then what do we talk about? JC, we go straight to the price action. And I
don't know. I don't trust anybody else, especially the Chinese.
And we draw inferences, right, about how bad the news is based on the price action. Because how else should we do it? You want me to go dig through like these proposed tariffs? I'm going to go read the docs and figure out what it all means. There's people out there trying to do that. Can you imagine?
And it's apolitical, right? Like the stock market, it's an equalizer. Like, doesn't matter what you look like, who you are. None of that matters. It's just totally truth. So
I love this chart. I want to steal it.
It's all yours. You have permission.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm gonna tweet this shit out right now. I don't care.
Do it.
Definitely. All right. So tell the folks where they can find you. Tell us what's happening next. I know you're working on the. What did Spencer call it?
Analyst as a service.
Analyst as a service.
Yeah.
So well done, Spencer.
Yeah.
Instead of SaaS, it's ass.
It's ass. That's right.
That's exactly what he said.
Oh, nice. That's good ass.
Great ass, Matt.
Nice.
Thanks, boys. No, so you could find me on like Twitter, X, Matt Cerminaro, and LinkedIn the same. And then Exhibit A's URL is exhibita4advice.com. What's next is I am going to continue working for Ritholtz and making the charts for them. There's a clear synergy between that and what I do for Exhibit A, because Exhibit A needs these great charts, and having the Ritholtz guys as like idea generators as well. It's just amazing. So yeah, I got my community here at Ritholtz. We have a great time every day in the office, and then I gotta continue to improve the Exhibit A platform for our users.
Just to be clear, Steve Strazza did not offer you a job. Just for the record.
Yeah,
for the record. He wishes he could, but we don't do that sort of thing around here. Certainly not to our friends.
If I could split myself into 10 different people, I would love to. But no, I appreciate it. Guys, thank you guys so much for having me on. This is like the first live thing I've ever done. So I was a little nervous.
And your last.
So
we'll do it again. And look, you killed it. The presentation that you and Mike did. Yeah. Mike barely talked. Matt just took the reins and ran the show. So
the world is better off that way, Matt. You take the reins. You lead the show, buddy. You take it.
Yeah.
Batnick gets enough voice. He's got like 16 podcasts, a couple of YouTube, right? He's good.
It's like, as you guys know, when you start to really talk about something that you really feel passionately about, it kind of rolls off the tongue. So it wasn't too bad.
Right.
But no, that was a great event. Thanks for attending, Steve. That was fun. And congratulations, Chief Market Strategist. Just wanted to say congrats. So
thank you. Thanks, Matt.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right.
Pleasure having you on, buddy. We'll have you on again.
Chartkid, Matt, keep up the good work, my man.
Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
He has such a bright future, this kid.
I mean, what do you think? He started out working for Tom Lee. Now he works for the Ritholtz crew. Not a bad start.
Killing it. Awesome.
JC, that was a good line. It's a shame that they both missed it, but I caught it. That was good.
Which one was that?
What did you say?
He said it was his first live show, and you said, and your last. But they both.
I stole that one from one of the roasts. When it was the Trump roast back in the day, and they had the Jim Tan laundry guy. What's that show called?
Jersey Shore.
Yeah. He was the situation, I believe.
Yeah, he's great.
That when he's like, oh, this is my that joke came from that roast. So full disclosure, I stole that one, but a good one nevertheless. I appreciate you, Spencer. Someone was paying attention.
It was a good joke.
And great acronym that you came up with.
Yeah, ass. Well done.
Yeah, right.
Good job. Good job.
All right. Appreciate it. Okay, so what's the deal? So it's 9:18. So again, we're gonna try to end the show around 9:30. Give Strazza a chance to breathe so he can go live at 9:45. As last week happened. If you're watching the show on YouTube, this stream will automatically redirect you to that stream, so you don't have to do anything. If you're watching us on our site, stockmarkettv.com, just refresh the page. On Twitter, there will be tweets. But before we do that, JC messaged me last night, and he said, I want you to bring on Stephen Weitzel today to talk about the Masters / golf / whatever the hell they got up to this weekend. So, okay. So Stephen Weitzel is here now. I guess we'll bring him out and we'll talk about that, and then we'll see where that leads us. All right. I don't know anything.
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Mr. White.
Woo!
Okay.
Let's go, baby.
Dude, let me just tell you, I like breaking balls as much as anybody else. We have a lot of fun around here, but I cannot say anything bad about you. You are officially a legend in my life. Like, you are the fucking man. Like, seriously, like, there's no other way to do it.
Can I tell him what you said? Mr. Stephen Weitzel. JC called me, I think, when he left the Masters, but before you guys went to dinner, saying all these things. But he also said, in addition to Weitzel's the man, he said he's got the golf bug. So you finally made it happen. He's in, dude.
I'll plant it in him. I will.
You sold him on golf. He's like, come on to Pennsylvania. Let's play.
No, it was crazy because I thought that we were going to be able to play, right? So, like, you know, and they're like, no, JC, we're not playing. We're just watching. And I was like, well, then why are we all dressed like we're about to play golf? Like, I don't understand, like, what this is all about. I couldn't.
All right, so tell us. How was it?
First of all, I see Mary in the chat. Listen, Mary, when you get 4 days, right, we had impeccable weather, and you can't help but to get tan. I told JC when we were rolling out on Saturday, I said, dude, I'm darker than you are. I'm darker than you are right now.
You did have a nice tan, you know, for a white boy from Georgia. You know, you're glowing, baby.
Right, it'll get on you, baby.
Why I couldn't find you guys. I couldn't find you guys in the stands. I was looking for a pale, pasty white guy.
No. But listen, I think we could have had the opportunity to be on camera. We were just left of the first green when the leaders were teeing off, and I know the camera would have panned right over to us. So
what? On the first hole, 2:30.
Yeah, first hole 2:30. We were there probably around 1:45, and got right up on the ropes. You know, there's a process, Steve. There's a process to everything that we do, right?
Yeah.
We're not. It's not just happenstance.
Process-oriented people.
So I would have just gone with, like, Steve, for example, and me and Steve are just wandering around the Masters. Right. We would have done everything wrong, made every mistake in the book. But this guy's been going to the Masters every year since he was 8. This dude knows every nook and cranny in the entire place, knows every hack in the system. It was like a private guided tour of Augusta National, like hole by hole, fun facts for days. And you guys know how much I love my fun facts. Dude, his fun fact game is on point at the Masters. Well done.
So what's the strategy? Can you share it, or it's a secret?
No.
Well, listen, I could tell you it could be a little long. I'm going to let you know. I posted a video. It was 28 minutes long on our YouTube channel, right? Got to go to the Reveille Wealth Management YouTube channel. You can watch the video. I get into some intricate detail, but let's boil it down to this. Same thing with markets. You've got to go where other people are not, but where you know they're going to want to be.
Wow, market
right?
analogy. Yeah.
And so we start our morning out, and we walk down to Amen Corner before it gets busy. We get to see the beauty and majesty of the golf course. And then we make our way back. So most people, they come in, they just go hole by hole. And so in the afternoon, they're already deep into the golf course. We're making our way back, and we're getting front row seats right on the ropes left of one green to watch these leaders come in, these marquee groups tee off. And then I told JC, I said, you look back at the first tee, there's going to be a mob of people up there. They can't see anything. They're 25 rows deep.
Amateurs.
I said, these people are like the guys, they're buying puts with the VIX at 45.
And we were selling all day, baby. Selling all day.
We're taking in premium. But no, it was great.
And then how do you do Sunday? Like, how do you do the final few holes? Everybody just rushes to the same place. There's not much.
Yeah, so, the crowds are so large out there.
Right.
You really cannot, you can't follow somebody, especially in the heat of the tournament like that.
Yeah.
you've got to get positioned. And so I like to spend my afternoons in the grandstand left of 15 green. Oh, yeah. It's a great shot of me and my son yesterday. It was his first time out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. Dude, we were early. We left the house at 5:15 on Sunday morning, got there. The gates don't open till 7.
Wow.
We were like the first wave of people that came in.
It's a long day. That's a long day.
Dude, it was a long day, but hey, I got 2 gnomes. I forgot to bring my gnome and put him back here with his buddies. He's still in the box at the house.
So they don't know about these amateurs. I'm a veteran now, so I know.
That's
but
right.
These amateurs, they don't know about the gnome. The gnome is like the hottest item in the store.
So the one from this year has the peach ice cream shirt on.
Oh,
right.
cool.
But each year we got a commemorative one, right? So this is last year.
Cool.
That's
Santa Claus?
No, it's a gnome.
It's just a gnome, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, I will say this. When in 2020, when they had to push the Masters to November because of COVID, the gnome that year was like Santa, had a long sleeve Christmas outfit on. So I put him up at the house like Elf on the Shelf.
So do you get emotional on Sunday? Do you get Masters emotions?
It's kind of hard not to on a day like yesterday where,
oh god,
you know,
I was a wreck. Yeah.
Well, when you grow up going to the tournament like I did, and you have a passion for the game and a reverence for the tournament, that will weigh on you. And one of my buddies sent a message last night, and he said, in reference to Rory, like, never has there been a bigger battle between a golfer and himself.
Dude, incredible. So happy.
So I'm so happy for him.
And he didn't make it easy. He gave us some drama at the end.
It has to be one of the best Sundays ever out there. I am gutted a little bit for Justin Rose. This guy, 2 losses in playoffs. And he's such a great guy, very gracious in defeat once again. But listen, I got to tell you this story from when we're doing the golf shop. Okay. So I bring, so we end up going to the golf shop on our way out.
I hear you're the MVP of gear
on Saturday, dude. I have an entire wing of my closet that is Masters gear only, right? So I'm sectioned off, right? Mm-hmm. So I've got, I'm sporting some new apparel today, so I take JC
in a case.
In there, huh? Yeah,
you keep it in a case.
No, it's good to wear. It's good to wear, but I keep it all segregated over there, right? So this is the Masters section.
Sure.
But so I take JC in there. We kind of have an idea of who we're shopping for. And so we're banging it out, going through there, grabbing everything. It's the most efficient run you could imagine going through there.
Dude, it's crazy.
We get to the checkout, okay? And then, Steve, you want to talk about him getting the bug? We're at the checkout, and he's already – they have a section right before you go up to the register where you can get little trinkets, okay?
He's just grabbing shit.
He's already gotten a couple of them. We're at the register like all the way down, and the lady's already starting to ring stuff up, and he turns around, and he goes back, and he's grabbing more stuff.
Dude, he's all in.
So
he's all in. JC has never once until Saturday asked me to play golf. He's excited about it, Steve.
I love it. So listen, the lady she's scanning everything, and JC looks at me, and he's like, dude, he's like, how much what am I going to spend here? Am I going to spend $2,000? And do you want to tell him? Or you want me to tell it?
So I just whisper, I had just a bag full of shit, and we just buying everything. I'm buying stuff for Strazza. I'm buying stuff for my brother-in-law, my wife, the kids, my father. We're just going down the list, right? And I'm like, I got all this crap, and I'm like, this can't be cheap. We're at Augusta, right? It's not like the sandwiches that are cheap. We're at, this is real high quality clothing here, and you can only buy it there. You can't buy it online, so you have to get it there. So I was like, all right. So I'm whispering to myself. I was like, dude, how much did I spend? $2,000? This is I've never spent so much money in a store in my life.
And then
he's like, what? Tell him.
So I'm like, I said, no. I said, dude, you're underneath that. I said, I'm going to put you on 1535. And he's like, okay, specific. You're specific.
Specific.
The lady,
guy.
like, this drum roll hits the button. And I looked at him. I said, look, if I'm within 2%, like, I get a prize. I don't know what it is.
You can
Drum
stick your
roll.
hand in the bag.
She hits the button. It comes up 1588. And we were like, we're high-fiving and everything. And
you just erupt in emotion, like high-fiving, like the place.
it was like we just made a putt to win the Masters. Okay. There's a commotion in there. We scare people, right? We scare people. Next thing we know, like, we're walking out and this dude comes up to us. I think we're about to get in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
This dude comes up to us and he takes a microphone and puts it up to us and he goes, can you tell us what just happened?
No, seriously?
Yeah. JC got interviewed in the golf shop.
Dude, we were, and Weitzel's like loud and, gets excited. And I certainly am loud and get excited. So imagine the two of us at the same time in like a relatively quiet and calm environment, right?
Yeah.
There's some lady next to Weitzel as the two of us erupt, and she like almost shit herself. We scared the crap out of her and anybody around us.
See, I love you guys, for this reason. Most people like have class when they're at a golf course, especially one as fancy as Augusta, but just screaming in the merch shop. I get it.
Yeah. Dude, listen, I think that they would appreciate the passion that we brought to it.
Agreed.
And I will say that even though JC had and how did you buy a suitcase? How'd you get it home?
I just stuffed everything in one of those 3 bags. I took home 3 bags. And I just stuffed everything into one. It worked.
As much loot as he left with, I'm going to tell you that he got out spending 50% of what I got hit for. Right. So it's always a tax that you are willing to pay when you go to the tournament. I get most of my wardrobe there every year. But it was a great time. We could not have had better weather. The tournament was phenomenal. It's one for the books.
I think it's so great that you guys shared this special moment. And really, JC, you went to a special Masters. This doesn't happen. It doesn't happen every year like this.
We saw Rory. We saw Rory complete the Grand Slam, and we saw him birdie on one from front row right on the green. That's something I'll never forget ever. As a sports fan, I'm not like a golfer. Like, I play golf, but I wouldn't call myself a golfer. Far from it. I thought I knew that the Masters was a big deal. Like, I thought I knew. I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't know anything. Clearly, I was completely like, it exceeded expectations so far beyond anything that I could have ever even imagined. Number one, I mean, obviously it's the Masters, but the fact that I got to go with Weitzel, who knows this place inside and out and knows all the hacks, it was like, just makes it the experience really that much more. So, a few things that stand out for me. Number one, if you're going to the Masters, you better get in touch with this guy and have him give you the route, because, I mean, that was ridiculous, number one. Number two, the food was somehow cheaper than I was told. Like, I was told, oh my God, it's so cheap. It was somehow even less expensive than I thought. It was like $1 for a beer, $1.50 for a sandwich.
Oh, that's great.
Steve, listen, so he's
great.
He's like, I'm going to eat all the food, right? And so he walks out one time. He's got like 4 sandwiches. I'm like, dude, like, you can't eat all that right now. So and he goes, bro, I'm just going to take a few bites of it. He's like, I spent $1.50. It's not like I'm throwing away a lot of money. He's like, I'm eating 75 cents worth and I'm tossing it.
So he really did that. Because when I spoke to him, like, did you try like pimento cheese? He goes, dude, I tried everything.
Yeah, he did. That was the point. I wanted to try everything. And then we're on our way to the Masters, and this guy's going to Chick-fil-A. We're eating chicken sandwiches at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Chicken biscuit. We're getting on the interstate, and he goes, dude, you're eating chicken at 8 a.m. I said, they've been serving it since 6, bro.
Yeah. Stephen, are you able to go to a sporting event in Georgia without Chick-fil-A? Like, do they have those? Or no?
I don't think they do, honestly.
Why would they?
Yeah, I think
and
it's,
by the
it's
way,
like
I wasn't opposed I wasn't opposed to a chicken biscuit to have the proper nomenclature here. The chicken biscuit for breakfast. I'm all about it. Sure. I just didn't want to ruin my appetite for all the eating I was about to do at the Masters. Just full disclosure.
Hey, and I told him, I said, look, I got to be good because I know somewhere Phil is watching me from overhead. I don't know, but I'm going to be good.
He was good. He was barely boozing. I was definitely boozing. He was barely boozing. He was eating like the high protein, low carb stuff.
Hey, listen, shout out Augusta National Concessions for providing the low carb options this year of just the barbecue in a cup. Amazing. Phil Perlman
so two things I wanted to point out. Number one, I was amazed that you can have that many sports fans or patrons, as they're referred to in this establishment, on their best behavior. Like, holy shit, everybody there was like so well behaved. Like, there's no shenanigans at all. It's like the opposite of like a college football game, right?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, just the overall reverence that like people there had for like what's taking place around them was really, really, really impressive. Like, really impressive. And then the last thing, I thought it was just going to be a bunch of dudes, right? Like just dudes everywhere. I don't know. I'm ignorant. And as it turns out, there were a lot more women than I thought. I would say at least 30% of that place was female. And I mean, listen, I'm a very happily married man. I have a beautiful wife, but I must tell you that there were just literally beautiful women everywhere, and like just like classy, just beautiful women. Like there's no really other way to put it. I didn't see that coming. He's like, yeah, what'd you think? You know?
Shout out Georgia.
Shout out Georgia.
They come in from everywhere. I mean, it's a destination for people to come in. But I'm telling you, we were blessed. We had great weather, great tournament, great company, and I would do it all over again.
So I was sitting on my couch when he sunk the putt. And Rose is sitting right next to me, but she's been half watching for the past 2 hours. Right? So she only like vaguely understands what's happening. So Rory goes down, and I'm choked up, and she's freaking out. She thinks he's hurt or like something's. So she's screaming, "What's wrong? What's wrong with him?" And I'm sitting there like, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" She lost her mind for 30 seconds trying to figure out what was going on. So now
my daughter said the same thing. She goes, "What's wrong with him, Daddy?" I'm like, "Oh, he's crying." And she's like, "Why is he crying?" And I was like, and I'm like, because he's really, really happy, like,
dude, I mean, I cannot imagine like the weight that came off of those shoulders, because I mean, how many times was that thing in the bag? And then
I know
that third shot that he hit into 13, dude, wow. JC does not play golf. He hits at least as good of a shot as what Rory McIlroy hit. That third shot into 13. I don't understand that, but wow, it was thrilling drama.
Greatest swing ever, in my opinion, and nobody deserves this more. I'm so happy for Rory.
Yeah, worthy champion, and we were blessed for seeing it.
So he goes from a great golfer to now a legend, right? Is that right?
He's a legend. There's only 6 guys that have ever won the career Grand Slam.
And so he's now Mount Rushmore.
I think he's Mount Rushmore. He's Mount Rushmore. I mean, he was a Hall of Famer already, but yeah, he's Mount Rushmore. The thing that, like, I think that if Justin Rose would have won, that probably would have made him a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So, but yeah.
And Rosie's getting older now, so that's
he's 44. And so you hate it for him, but dude, what a tournament. What a tournament.
And thank you, Steven. Seriously, bro. Like, for real. Like, can't break balls today. Like, that was unbelievable. So I really appreciate that.
Listen, I was very pleased that you were able to make it happen. You had to jump through a lot of hoops to be able to get there. But we got you there, and you had the time of your life.
I did. That's what's important. I did. And I thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate everything, boys.
Throw up the shot of me and Steven. Throw it up. Look at us. Look at these. Because there's no pictures. You can't take your phone into play. So this is as good as it gets.
Oh, yeah. So who's taking pictures of you guys?
This was in the house before we left.
Okay. Got it.
That was it. And then the one with him and his kid, there's like one place where you could stand in line and take a picture, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yeah,
that's like Michael Saylor at Future Proof.
You did take a picture with Michael Saylor?
No, we missed it. He saw us and then had to leave.
That's right. Yeah. He knew you were going to call him out for saying that he was positively polarized to Bitcoin. Whatever that means. Anyhow. All right, boys.
All right. Thanks a lot, Steven.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right. All right, guys, we're going to hop. Let's give Strazza 5 minutes to catch his breath. He'll be live at 9:45. We got things happening. Apple's ripping. Markets are moving. What?
Hold on. The reason Spencer was surprised, I pinged Spencer this week and I said, I got to go live Monday, right? Because we've been going live every day since last week, really the week before, talking about what is taking place now. So even though we didn't have plans to go live, we have to, right? It wraps it all up. We've been waiting for a monster rebound rally. It's underway. We're trading it. We just sold the double in Palantir. We have a bunch more ideas. We're going to share some with you at 9:45. I got 5 minutes to pound some coffee and a croissant.
Here we go. Smash the like.
Say coffee and a croissant.
A croissant?
You know, you're chief market strategist of All-Star Charts now. You got to be working on that six-pack, kid. We got to be looking good, son.
Is that a job requirement? Because you wouldn't know it from you.
Okay. And on that note, alrighty.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.